there's a technique called Pomodoro technique. This method of time management helps in the training of your brain to stay focused for short periods of time. Hi, hello, welcome back again. So in this video we are going to see something special, how to become a successful NEET aspirant or how to be a successful NEET student. So considering this one is the trademark question for every NEET aspirant since 2016, because 2016 is the year when NEET was first introduced in all over the India. So I am here to answer this question today with my experience as much as possible. So the people don't know me, I actually fight with NEET exam for 2 years since I was a Tamil medium student and I was from state board syllabus, so it took me for 2 years. So in this period I have experienced a lot, I have explored a lot, and I entered into the medicine. Today I am going to give you some special kind of stuffs and special qualities that I have developed during my NEET journey, at least for last 2 to 3 months. So without further ado, let's move on to the video. This is the 10 qualities of a successful NEET student. Okay, let's go. So the first quality, I call it as starting mission early. Have you ever heard some people telling like, never do tomorrow what you can do today? And another one is, the early bird catches the worm, like that. It simply means people are trying to say, if you start the work early, you have a higher chance of success. So it's actually true, because during my first year of NEET repeating, I didn't really start my preparation early. So that paid me off. Then during my second year of NEET repeating, I really start my preparation early as much as possible. So that paid me a good score in the NEET exam as well as a medicine seat in a government college. So what I'm trying to say is, preparing for an exam, especially a competitive exam like NEET, it actually needs your time and tedious process. Early and systematic preparation is the key to get a good score in NEET exam. So you should stay ahead of the competition and stick to a time-bound schedule, okay? So why should we start preparing early? There are 3 reasons why I stress out starting mission early. Because first reason, your brain actually needs time to instinctively process every data or every information that you are given that particular day, okay? Whenever you start studying a particular day, and if you don't give enough time to process your data or the information that you are given that day, then you don't really get a long-term memory power. So that's the concept. The second one, starting your preparation early will offer you more time to become familiar with your NEET curriculum, absolutely. Then allowing you to explore more topics, ins and outs of each chapter, as well as associated questions. Then third reason, starting early allows you to complete mock tests and previous year question papers, and also it provides you to mentally and physically prepare for the exam, allowing you to withstand the pressure and do calculation quickly, okay? Lastly, whenever we had adequate time for the exams, we actually don't really want to start the mission early, because we as humans actually need a break and we actually need to procrastinate every time as much as possible. So in order to overcome this, I'm going to share an approach that I use during my NEET preparation. Maybe it could work for you, but I'm not saying it has to work for everyone. So focus on the process and give it a shot, okay? So I call it global divide and conquer strategy. So actually what it means, you need to grab some colored markers and piece of papers, like 5 to 10 papers for each subject. In your room, actually there will be 4 walls. Select one wall for each subject. It means 3 walls. For example, if you are studying organic chemistry, you will need to take down all the named reactions on the piece of paper, the chemistry wall. Likewise, for every chapter, you will know what should be noted in the piece of paper. So this is how you have to study every chapter and record your notes. It's actually a simple strategy. Also, if you take this approach in the NEET preparation right from the beginning, it actually provides you a lot of time and much easier to revise your exams and answer your questions in the later period, okay? So second quality, inquiring mindset and pursuit of knowledge. So inquiring mindset means a person with inquiring mindset will always question things, okay? Whenever you study something, you will question things if you have an inquiring mindset. So in order to develop an inquiring mindset, we actually need to find out what is the base of inquiring mindset. There are 3 things that are interconnected to inquiring mindset. First one is having an exploring mindset. Whenever you are having an exploring mindset, you will see things in a different way. Whenever you get fascinated by something, you want to explore that thing. Then after exploring, you make some discoveries in that thing. Then after discovery, you will learn something new that normal people didn't really think of, okay? Then the second way, independent thought. Whenever you had an independent thought, you will think different. You will see things different. So you will always make questions about everything. Then the third process, brain's natural process. Our brain has developed with the neural network dedicated to learning. So when we observe things new, our brain will generate branching fibers, that is known as dendrites. Some of you may know that. Whenever we use our natural learning process, the brain creates endorphins, or otherwise known as pleasure chemicals, which naturally encourage to learn more. Okay. So these are the things. These are three things: having an exploring mindset, and independent thought, and brain's natural process. These are interconnected to the inquiring mindset. Whenever you had at least one of these things, you will have a inquiring mindset. So in order to develop inquiring mindset, we can't really develop first and last aspects, because these are things that are developed as a result of our childhood lifestyle and point of view. But independent thing, on the other hand, is something we can genuinely control ourselves. For example, most students hate studying organic chemistry. Taking this as an initiative, if you think independently, your mindset will coalesce into something like, let me see myself or organic chemistry. Who will win this battle? As a result, independent thought leads to an inquiring mindset, and you will eventually discover things that ordinary people do not. Okay. So on the other hand, we have pursuit of knowledge. Simply refers to a person rushing towards a goal or a solution to a problem. So in the sense of NEET aspirant, we actually have a goal towards the NEET exam, towards the NEET exam score. So you need to have a mindset that pursues knowledge every time. Okay. Even during my NEET journey, I learned this thing, like you need to learn at least one thing one day, or you can say like this: learn new things every day. So this is the code I learned in NEET exam, and still I am processing it and still I am using it. So the third quality, consistency. I understand that maintaining consistency is the most difficult endeavor. So here are some tips or tricks that you can use to conquer the consistency. Okay. First of all, I will say how to prepare for this. Then I will say how to be consistent with your work. Okay. First thing, start with your plan first. For example, you have to do this much in this month, and you have to do this much in the next month, like that. This will keep you active and moving. Okay. Then the second thing, I understand that there are some moments when you doubt your level of preparation, when negative thoughts surrounds you and try to make you inconsistent. But no matter what the circumstances, keep negativity away until your NEET exam day. Okay. Try to watch inspirational clips, read inspirational articles and statements as much as possible. Whenever you are spending time in your social media, try to watch the inspirational clips like that. Okay. Third thing, health concerns and family troubles might be the stumbling obstacle, which is almost always unavoidable. As far as I have seen, people will assess you based on your grades you have received rather than difficulties you had during the preparation process. Okay. Then fourth thing, never procrastinate, because it will push you further away from the objective or goal. So these are the four things you have to do before preparing for the consistency. Okay. Then how to become consistent with your studies? Actually, I use two ways. So first one, ensure you have the appropriate environment. When studying, make sure you have a good table or a comfortable chair. Make sure you have all the necessary materials like textbooks, notebooks, guides, pen, pencil, rulers, other tools, as well as water and snacks, etc. Otherwise, an absence of them might be a source of distraction, causing you to spend time and lose your momentum and rhythm while you're looking for it. Okay. So second one, make a clear and deliberate decision to make the most use of your time. This is the most difficult part of all, because you can't outsource it or have someone else to do it for you. Means you must be self-disciplined enough to stick to the schedule you have established for yourself. So actually you have no excuse for not following your schedule. For this, to stay motivated, find the right internal motivation. This is the key to effectively organizing your schedule. Visualize how you completed the first day's portion and use it as a motivation to complete the second day's part. Okay. So the fourth quality, time management skills. Actually, the two basic tactics that behind the long-term memory are studying and revising. You actually know that. We normally intend to make 3 to 4 revisions before the exam or before the NEET exams, but we only wind up revising one time, even sometime without properly completing them. So there comes the third tactic, good time management. Of course, comparing your board exams, NEET is the test in which you must cover a large syllabus in a short amount of period, and many aspirants struggle to manage their time efficiently, actually, which increases their stress levels and leads to failing to reach the destination sometimes. In contrast, better time management leads to increased efficiency and productivity, reduced stress, and more life success. Okay, let me explain this time management in two topics. First of all, what are the steps of time management? First one, wake up early. You may be a night owl or a early bird, it doesn't matter, but always wake up before sunrise, which gives a positive mindset to accomplish a productive day. Okay. Then second step, properly set your target. Establish a target that is both attainable and measurable. Okay. Then only you can peacefully complete the target in a particular time. When setting the target, use the SMART technique, means SMART technique. S means Specific, M means measurable, A means attainable, R means relevant, T means timely. These things should be considered before setting your target, okay? Then the third step, prioritize wisely. You must first decide which topic is the most important mainly and add the topic in which you are weak, then to a descending fashion of a stronger subjects, okay? Like first you need to study the difficult subjects and chapters that you are weak. Then fourth step, set time limits for completing tasks. Setting time limits for tasks allows you to be more focused and efficient. However, before you set up, make sure the time limit is sufficient to finish the work, okay? And if the time limit you gave is not sufficient to finish the work, then ultimately it will collapse your all the productive day, okay? Then the fifth step, set a break from one work to another. It's actually a fact that it's more difficult to stay focused and motivated when you're completing a lots of tasks without taking a break. So allow yourself some rest in between tasks to clear your mind and recharge your brain batteries. For example, do your hobbies in the limited period such as editing, content writing and creating music. So the second part is time management hacks for NEET aspirants. There are some strategies to hold the time in your fingertips. So I'm going to give you 4 strategies to become a master in the time management, okay? First thing, studying hours. You need just 6 to 8 hours of proper study for the initial days. That's enough, okay? Don't engage too much. That ultimately collapse your productivity as well as health. Then second thing, eliminate digital distractions. While studying or doing a task, don't get distracted by the notification sounds of your mobile phones. Instead, turn off your notification or mobile phones or throw your mobile phones inside the desk. Third thing, good start, good ending. Start your day with nature or small exercise or even meditation in the morning instead of straight away taking your mobile phone and responding to messages. Then only your day starts to be productive and ends with a positive mindset for the next day. Then the fourth thing, make a digital to-do list if you want. Like you can use Google Calendar if you want to set up your to-do list digitally. One useful aspect of digital to-do list is that it notifies you when the task begins and when the task ends. So the fifth quality, astonishing memory power. So actually there's a universal myth. Like if you want to master up a chapter, you need to revise that chapter endlessly or 4 to 5 times or 6 times like that. But it's actually not full and full truth. There are several experiments in the previous centuries have been done to know how these memory powers are working or how these memories are developing. In such way, one of the experiments shows whenever you start studying, for example, you are studying for 1 hour, after then you have to take 10 to 15 minutes of break. During the break time, you actually don't need to revise the chapter you have studied for 1 hour. Instead, you have to dim the lights of your room, sit back and enjoy for the 10 to 15 minutes of calm, peaceful environment. If you do this, you will recall more data that you have learned just for 1 hour than if you are utilized that 10 to 15 minutes of recalling, okay? Recalling the same chapter. Actually, what is the process behind this means? Our memory is built up like it needs actually some time to store our data. And you will find that you recall the data that you have just learned will be significantly better than if you try to do something like recalling. So forget about responding to the messages, reading mails, surfing the web on your phone. You should definitely give your brain enough time to develop those memory neurons, okay? So I will share an experiment that was established in the 1900 by 2 German psychologists, Muller and Filsecker. They actually established the extraordinary memory boosting advantages of undisturbed rest. So what actually they did means, they actually picked some volunteers first, then they gave them some meaningless syllables initially to memorize. After a brief study period, half of the group was given a new list to memorize, while the other half was given a 6 minutes break before proceeding to the new list. After 1.5 hours, the two groups showed subsequently different patterns of memory power. Participants who were given a break remembered nearly 50% of the list compared to only 28% of the list has been remembered by the participants without break. At last, comprisingly, I'm going to tell you how to increase the memory power in students. First of all, you need to take at least 5 to 7 minutes of mental relaxation after studying of half an hour. If you study 1 hour, then you need to take at least 10 to 15 minutes of rest, okay? Then instead of revising around 2 to 3 times after studying a chapter, take an exam on that chapter to build your memory more successfully, okay? So the sixth quality, ability to concentrate. This quality will always take precedence because it is the most important factor to consider during the preparation process. Actually, ability to concentrate and consistency and time management, these three all coincide with each other. First of all, let me explain you what is the fact behind the concentration. Actually, when you concentrate on your goal, other things fade away. But if you concentrate on other things, your goal fades away. So as a result, concentrate solely on your goal, okay? If you can stay away from the social media and other mobile related distractions, that is great strength because it matters a lot as well. Also, anything you study under extreme stress will never yield any results, so be aware. According to a survey, pressure is the most important factor in explaining NEET aspirants' daily concentration loss of 2 to 3 hours. So what methods can you use to improve your concentration while studying means? I'm going to give you 3 tips, or in other words 3 hacks that you can use to improve your concentration power, okay? So first thing, coffee in small doses. Actually, some of us may know that caffeine in coffee has the cognitive enhancing property, but this caffeine's cognitive enhancing property can only be realized if it is consumed in moderation, okay? If you drink too much of it, you may end up feeling anxious or nervous, which generally reduces the ability to stay focused. Instead, you have to take the coffee in a moderate way. It will actually helpful for the concentration process, okay? Then second step, there's a technique called Pomodoro technique. This method of time management helps in the training of your brain to stay focused for short periods of time, okay? Actually, how it works means, start by setting a timer for 25 minutes. Then study for 25 minutes, okay? Once the alarm rings, then take 5-minute break. As I said before, don't need to interfere with others in these 5 minutes, because you need to let the brain do their work. Means you need to let the brain to enhance the memory power and to build the memory neurons, okay? And after that 5 minutes, reset the timer to 25 minutes and get back to work. And after 25 minutes, again take 5 minutes rest. After you have completed 4 rounds of this process, you can take a long break of 20 to 30 minutes. So this is the Pomodoro technique. It actually helps a lot to me in my MBBS career as well. Then third thing, getting enough sleep. People always say short-term and long-term memory is highly dependent on the sleep. Actually, not only short and long-term memory, as well as the ability to concentrate can be harmed by not getting adequate sleep, okay? So adults aged between 18 to 60 years should get at least 7 hours of sleep per night according to scientific facts, okay? So you should get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So the seventh quality, do not ignore physics and organic chemistry. Nothing should be skipped, especially in physics and chemistry. I have seen that the majority of my colleagues and junior students have skipped a few topics from NCERT syllabus, and after the exam has come to the conclusion that they should have studied them before. The reason for this is because we constantly think a few chapters from physics and chemistry are difficult, so we skip through them instead of studying. However, NEET has a disadvantage for everyone unless you are lucky. Actually, everything you didn't study or skipped will contain basic questions that are simple to answer if we know the basics. In your revised chapters, on the other hand, you will find questions at the PhD level. As a result, I recommend that you do not miss any NCERT subjects or concepts that you find difficult, okay? If you truly believe a chapter is difficult, at the very least learn the basics. If you are lucky enough, they will ask you some straightforward questions from that chapter, okay? So at least study the basics. So let me explain how to approach physics for NEET. So this actually contains 6 steps. First one, get the concept crystal clear, okay? You can't actually study NCERT for physics. Instead, use your coaching center's book or GRB or DC Pandey, etc. Once you have grasped the topic, you will be able to answer 40% of the questions on your own. Then the second step, learn formulas. The core of physics is formulas. The most critical step in preparing for physics is to learn formulas. So at least once a week, for each chapter, make an effective formula and concept note, okay? Then the third step, refer to the best books. In my knowledge, GRB and DC Pandey are the best books for physics reference. So consider this, okay? Then fourth step, solve previous year question papers. After referring to the concepts from one of the reference books, you can try to solve previous year questions from the chapter along with the normal questions, okay? Then fifth step, make notes. Make a list of all the relevant formulas, theorems and concepts during the preparation and solving questions, okay? Whenever you solve a question, you will find some new concepts from that particular question. Then you can also add that concept to the formula book, okay? Also, physics notes for NEET can help you in preparing for the exam more quickly at the last minute, okay? Then the sixth step, take mock exams online. Taking online mock tests might assist you to figure out where you stand in terms of preparation. It will also assist you in identifying your weak points as well, okay? So the next part, how to prepare chemistry for NEET. So I'm not going into deep here, but I'm going to explain a few things about the chemistry, okay? First of all, we have 3 parts in chemistry: physical chemistry, inorganic chemistry, organic chemistry. physical chemistry. A few NEET aspirants drop out of physical chemistry because they are afraid of math. However, this is not the case. Only 3 to 4 of the 15 physical chemistry questions need math, okay? So you can attend the rest of the questions without the maths. Then, inorganic chemistry. Specifically, follow NCERT for inorganic chemistry as you would in biology. NCERT is responsible for 14 out of 15 inorganic questions. It takes time to read each line of NCERT and absorb all the facts and equations, but it's totally worth it. Then coming to the organic chemistry, the most difficult part. If your goal is to solve 10 questions out of 15 questions from the organic chemistry, then learn all the named reactions in organic chemistry, okay? That's enough. But however, if you want to solve 13 to 14 out of 15 questions, you must first understand the mechanism and all the concepts involved in the reactions, okay? So that's the quick recap for the chemistry. So the 8th quality, revision and practicing questions. If you had to choose between practicing questions and revisions, which would you choose? Of course, I would say both, because it is a battle between acquiring new information and retaining old information. However, you can specify preferences based on the amount of time you have available, but be cautious about when to begin practicing questions and when to start revisions. However, after watching this section, you will understand why I am so concerned. In my experience, I didn't start revising chapters until it was only 10 days for the exams. It was a major disadvantage because I was more concerned with learning new things than with revising and retaining my previous knowledge. During my examination, this backstabbed me and I was in a situation where I had an in-depth JEE advanced level knowledge in most of the physics and chemistry chapters but had forgotten 30% of the biology chapters I had previously studied. This occurred as a result of my failure to effectively complete my revisions. However, because I had a solid understanding in physics and chemistry, I was able to be successful at the end of the day. After that, I read an article on Gora from a NEET aspirant, all India rank 431, who stated he started revising a month before the exam and that it worked well for him. The majority of the people in the comment section as well agreed to this assertion. I'm not saying it is because I lost most of the questions. I don't know whether it is relevant comparing his knowledge and my knowledge, but it might be a reason why I lost most of the biology questions, okay? After all, let me try to answer this question in a short way. How to revise for NEET in 1 month? First of all, the best option for biology is to use NCERT textbook, of course. Then revise one chapter of biology every day. Then coming to physics and chemistry, memorize all important formulas, concepts and reactions in physics and chemistry. In inorganic chemistry, reactions and mechanisms are important. Practice multiple choice questions as much as possible. Then coming to physics, the application and execution of formulas are what physics is all about. Practice solving MCQs once you have memorized all the formulas, okay? So the 9th quality, self-confidence. A confident person means he or she does what they believe is right, even if it's unpopular, is willing to take risks, admits and learns from their mistakes, and can accept compliments. Why did I include self-confidence here means? Because it is the most important inner quality that everyone requires to achieve their goals. Lack of self-confidence causes stress which may lead to failure. Also, failure occurs frequently during preparations in various forms such as failure to achieve a target score in test, failure to meet a daily goal, and so on. However, a NEET aspirant must be a capable strategist and confident person who can make appropriate changes in his or her approach to avoid making the same mistake twice, okay? And there's a statement which I learned from my experience. If you believe you can do it, you are half the way there. After all, let me give you 2 tips so that you can practically improve your self-confidence. First one, meditation. For starters, it helps in self-awareness and acceptance. Meditation also teaches you to silence negative self-talk and tune out any mental chatter that undermines your self-esteem. Although the hours before sunrise are thought to be the ideal time for meditation, most experts agree that you can meditate at any time. And the second tip, be as you are, means don't try to imitate somebody else. People come and go as frequently as movies on a theater screen. So instead of comparing and instead of imitating, get to know people and benefit from their experience, okay? That's a wise decision. So the 10th quality, focus only on the end result. This one here is the final and one of the easiest quality to develop among my 10 qualities of a NEET aspirant. It's all about distancing yourself from the situation where people judge by your temporary results. It won't be easy at first, but with some simple strategies, you'll be able to concentrate more on the process. Essentially, you should begin to appreciate the process rather than the temporary outcomes, which are sometimes not possible. Feel every minute as you are approaching to the destination, okay? Don't depend on your coaching class exam results. So 2 things I'm going to stress out here. First one, detach from the emotions, at least for temporary. The more emotionally committed you are to the trip, the more likely you are to detach from the results. So be careful. Second thing, make it up as you go along. It's true that your results are in everyone's cup of tea. For the most part, we are motivated by results. Fake emotions, on the other hand, might be used to fool the subconscious. If the travel is really exhausting, cheer yourself up by stating, "It's fantastic. Things are going well for me. My existence now has a purpose." This is only an example. You may make up your own one-liners to help you think positively about the process. That's all I've got for now. I hope this piece of information should be helpful for your NEET journey. And also I hope one day you'll be able to write your own NEET successful story. Anyways, if you got it all the way to the end, please tell me which quality I triggered you here to improve, as well as any new ideas or any quality that you feel like I missed. You can feel free to put that in the comment section. And also, I'm here in this channel trying to post 2 videos per week or at least once a week related to medicine, lifestyle, productivity and entrepreneurship. If you are related to any of these categories, you can feel free to subscribe to this channel, and I will make such informative videos as much as possible with my experience. And also, if you want to visit the article version of this video, you can check out the first link in the description, okay? Until then, Medico Topic signing off. I'll see you in the next episode next week. Bye.